Hey, what's up everyone? How you guys doing today? Danny Lightning here. Hopefully everybody's having an awesome day so far. Let me know if the music's not loud enough. I can always turn it up a little bit. Alright, so I'm hoping my audio sounds better than normal on the microphone. Oh man, my voice is about 1 billion times louder than the music, so I'm not sure how it's loud actually. My microphone should be nice and loud and the music should be kind of like soft in the background. But I finally downloaded something that came with my little audio device, and I'm trying that out on the stream today. Not sure if the audio sounds better than normal or not, but the microphone I stream with is kind of like a cheaper one, but it's not the same one I use to record videos. But anyways, how's everyone doing today? I see Bruce, I see Jod, what's going on? Pyro! We got Owen, what's up Owen? Awesome to see you guys today. Alright, so guess what? We're here to do a Q&A type of deal, so if you've got some crazy questions, I can try to answer them for you. Mito, Siskin, what's going on guys? Thank you for coming out today. Jod says, guess how old I am? That's a pretty hard guess, because that you could be like 12 or you could be like 90. I just don't know. But yeah, I have no idea. I'm gonna guess man, 16. 10, okay. Is it your birthday? Are you saying that because it's your birthday? If so, then happy birthday. Alright. So have you guys got to try out the new Titan on the test server? I wasn't able to get on there, unfortunately. Like, I was having test server problems, so I did not get to test the test server, guys. The test server messed me up, everybody. I was kind of upset about that one. The bottom line is the test server was testing my patience. That's what I'm going to say. But I don't know, for some reason it just wouldn't work, which was a big old bummer. I didn't appreciate it too much, honestly. What am I doing here? What am I doing? I'm not really even sure, guys. I'm playing with the phone. Playing with YouTube on the phone here, and I kind of forgot what I was about to try and do. Alright. So, whatever, I guess. Not much you can do, I suppose. Alright. What's up, Roy? How are you today? Awesome to see you as always. Alright, we got somebody speaking in a language I can't understand. I'm doing good, Roy. How about yourself? How's your day going? Robot Warfare, what's up, buddy? Alright, so my favorite Fenrir build. Sure, we can do that. We can easily check out my favorite Fenrir build. So let me go ahead and open my game on my phone. You guys won't see it on the screen, but you will definitely get to hear all about it. we'll get to hear all about it, right? So first off, you got to get the Bernadette Wolf pilot. So Bernadette Wolf is amazing on the Fenrir. What in the world is wrong with this thing? Oh my gosh. When things don't work correctly, I will tell you. All right. So this is my Fenrir setup. First thing, you might want to get a notepad out or something. Get your notepad out, guys, because we're going to tell you the best Fenrir setup in the entire world. All right, so of course, Bernadette Wolf, and we're going to list the pilot skills. So we're going to use Module Expert, which means your modules actually, last longer. So when you use your healing, you get to heal for a longer time, which helps you survive longer. We've got Roadhog, which allows you to move faster. Roadhog is huge. We've got Armor Expert, which gives you another 12.5% durability. We got Tough Guy, which gives you another 18.75% durability. So those durability skills are a must. Now we got a Mechanic, which is optional. If you don't like Mechanic, you can put whatever skill you like in there. So we got Full Hardy Quartermaster, where every time I drop below 50% health, I'm going to get to use my healing module again. That one is optional. And then we have Dodger, which makes the modules recharge faster, meaning I can heal sooner and stay alive a lot longer. So those are basically the pilot skills you want right there. So I would definitely look into those. Now, as far as the drone, you're going to want the Nebula for sure. Nebula is amazing. I love me some Nebula on the Fenrir. Now, as far as the drone chips, you're going to use 2 on repair unit defense chips. You're going to use your best shields. The best shield you have, put that on there. And I think I'm going to start using control resistor from now on out. If you have a gold control resistor chip, if somebody goes to lock you down, it's going to take them 60% longer before you get locked. So that's how I would do my setup on that. Now, as far as the modules, I would definitely run repair amplifiers if you have them. If not, heavy armor kits and nuclear amplifiers. I mean, you could put 3 heavy armor kits on there and he would be super hard to kill. You could do a nuclear amplifier and 2 heavy armor kits. Or everybody's favorite right now seems to be 1 nuclear amplifier and 2 repair amplifiers. So that thing will be a beast. So robot warfare. So if you want a big drone, you can do that if you need more damage. But if your goal is survivability, that's when you're going to start looking at the Nebula drone. The Nebula will heal the heck out of you. It's great for defense and making you last longer. And on a tank like that, I think defense is a little more important than damage on something like the Fenrir. Ah, man, robot warfare, that sucks, buddy. Arachnid Invader is amazing. Any Invader is amazing, actually. But I mean, you can easily use a beak on pretty much anything. The beak's probably the best drone for attack because you do get a defense slot and you get some attack slots. Now, the ability on the beak is not very good in my opinion, but the chip slots are awesome. That's what makes the beak amazing. Nathan, what's up? Yeah, the gameplay on the question and answer streams is always just going to be something that's pre-recorded, so you guys have something to look at. I can't play and read all the comments at the same time. Organic, what's up, buddy? He's from India. How are you today? Miguel, what's up, what's up? Uncle Broken Down, nice to see you today. Alright, so if you got questions, feel free to ask them. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. So ask away your questions, guys. Alright, I'm just kind of playing with the setting really fast here. Do I think they should reduce the drone prices? Yes, actually. I think the drones are a little bit on the expensive side. Now, I know they're planning on doing a drone rework again. And they said they're going to do something with the shield chips. Because we know the shield chips are crazy annoying right now. Pyro, no, I don't think Persephone is better than the Nebula. They're both really cool. I guess it really depends on what you're trying to do, but Persephone is a very nice drone. I think it's almost as good, but not quite as good for the Nebula. Now, there may be some robots where Persephone actually works better, but I think on the majority of robots, the Nebula is a little bit on the better side. It's kind of nice to have a bunch of healing and stuff like that. So, Persephone's cool, but not really my favorite. I did a lot of testing between the Nebula and the Persephone, and the Nebula always seemed to come out on top on the tanky robots. Now, if you're running on something that's really squishy, maybe the Persephone comes in handy on something like a Siren or whatever, where you're behind cover a lot. But your brawling robots always seem to do best with either a beak for the damage or the Nebula for the durability. Best setup for Hades, man. That's a robot I haven't really messed with too much recently. Now, Hades is an amazing robot, don't get me wrong. I would have to get on there and really take a good look at the pilot skills again, though, to tell you that one for sure. But as far as modules, all right, let's talk about the Hades. So modules, I would definitely go with repair amplifier, nuclear amplifier, and maybe one heavy armor kit or one balance unit. Or if you want, you could put an anti-control or a last stand on there. I think that third module is going to be personal preference, but if you can, balance unit, repair amplifier is amazing.
Thank you so much for the donation.
And the nuclear amplifier is amazing.
Mac Parker donated
And I would definitely run a healing
chat.
module on the Hades. He's going to need it because there's a lot of people out there with shield breakers. Mac, thank you so much, buddy. I really appreciate that. Now, as far as the pilot, the Hades legendary pilot is just kind of so-so. I don't think it really matters what pilot you put on the Hades. You could run an Adrian, you could run the Trixie Hope, you could run the Eddie Knoll. Any good pilot that can get gold skills will work just fine on Hades. Now, Hades legendary pilot will allow his extra ability to shoot another 100 meters. Some people love that, some people aren't really into it. I think it's a very nice skill. I think it's a really nice skill, actually. Especially if you're running weapons that have a 600 meter range, but if you're not, then that skill is almost useless. So that pilot is kind of personal preference. So I would also run I think I would definitely run the Nebula on the Hades just for the extra durability. Hades is kind of tanky, but he's kind of squishy compared to a lot of the newer bots. So I would definitely work on the Nebula drone. Nebula's pretty amazing, actually. But yeah, that's probably how I would set him up for the most part. As far as weapons go, I think anything with a good 500 or 600 meter range is ideal. 350 meter range at minimum, because he really relies on that shield and staying back a little bit. Hades can be a nice brawler, but I don't really think that's what he's designed for. But I do have a couple of Hades build videos that would be pretty relevant still. I mean, the pilot skills would be about the same. The modules might be a little different on that video, but that's the thing, man. Pilot skills don't really seem to change too much when you really think about it. All right, Nathan says, what about the Armadillo for tanks? Now, I think the Armadillo is better on your assassin or your beacon runners. On a robot that you're going to go out and get a lot of kills with, Armadillo is amazing. Robots that you're going to get a lot of beacons with, that's amazing. Now, your brawling tank, that may or may not end up getting a lot of kills. So personally, I think the Armadillo is an amazing drone, but I think it's really designed for beacon runners or long-range damage dealers. Now, you can put it on your tank. If you're going to get beacons with your tank and get a lot of kills with your tank, then yeah, it will really be a big help. I still think most tanks are going to work best with the Nebula though. Now, Beaker Nebula, like I said, awesome. All the other drones, most of them have their place. You just kind of got to know when to use it, when not to use it. Yeah, Chrissy, yeah, sometimes you can get really cheap daily deals on the drones. Sometimes you'll see these nice drones for like $5 that come with purple or gold chips, or maybe like $10. I do see those a lot. So if you got a few dollars to spend, definitely watch the daily deals for drone deals. I actually see those a lot. What's up, Mr. Random? He says, do you think that the humming machine guns will be nerfed more than the hell weapons? You know, I'm not really sure what they're planning on doing with those machine guns. I really don't. I kind of hope they don't mess with them too much, honestly, because I think they should really just reduce the amount of damage they do when shooting around corners. If they did that, that would fix a really big problem that those have. And that would be great. I mean, they just do too much damage for something that can hit you behind cover. So that's really all those need, in my opinion. Let me read through the chat a little bit and see what other questions we got. All right, Robot Warfare, buddy. I hope your day at work goes good. Oh yeah, Rockzilla, Luchador is still going to be great. That nerf, unless they do something different than what's currently proposed, the nerf they're proposing to do on it won't be that big of a deal. It will just make it a little more manageable. Luchador is very hard to deal with right now, so it does need a little bit of a nerf, but it's still going to be really good afterwards, I do believe. Grady White says Fafnir is reborn with the Northlight mothership. You know, Fafnir's still a really cool robot. If they would add a little bit more speed to it, I would probably play it all the time, but it gets a little boring moving really slow. Jod says, what are they nerfing? I made a video about that recently. There was a whole bunch of things being nerfed and a bunch of things being buffed. So you might want to go back on my channel and look through the videos, because I can't remember the whole list. There was a bunch of different things, actually. My memory is not that good to be able to name all that stuff off. What about if you drone your tank of the beacons with the Armadillo? I don't quite understand, Nathan. Drone your tank of the beacons. Like I said, if you got a tank that gets a lot of beacons or gets a lot of kills, at that point putting the Armadillo on it might be really good. But a lot of people are running Armadillo on things like Siren or Harpy. A lot of people are putting Armadillo on like their ball drone, the Skyros. Not ball drone, the ball robot, the Skyros, because that thing can grab a lot of beacons. Behemoth can rack up a lot of kills sometimes, so you'll find guys running the drone on the Behemoth. You'll see, I think you're mainly going to see it on stuff like that. Orochi, some people are putting on Orochi because Orochi's great at grabbing beacons. Loki's really good at beacons, so I don't know. Those are the type of robots you're mainly going to see the Armadillo on. Now, some people, all right, some people that have very different play styles than others, you might be one of those persons that just uses your tank for nothing but kills. Like when I play games, I don't really chase the damage. I play beacon modes and I chase the beacons. Half the time, like somebody steals the kills before I get them. My job is to grab and hold beacons, not get damage or kills. That's what everybody's job should be on the beacon mode. So now if you're playing team deathmatch and the only thing you're worried about is getting kills, then that's where the Armadillo is really going to come in handy on a lot of other robots. But on beacon mode, I think durability with some damage on top of it is the way to go. So it really depends on what mode you're playing as well, but tanks are made to survive for a long time. Alright, Rockzilla says, will the Cinder Grom setup be any good? Right now it's a very good setup and I still think it'll be very nice after they nerf those items. But that's one of those things where we're going to have to wait till the nerf happens and test it out. But on paper, it doesn't sound that bad, but sometimes things look a little different on paper than they actually are in the real world. What's up, Dimebag? So I can't really answer how good something's going to be after the nerf. I mean, some of it I can tell you. For example, like the Luchador, I know for a fact, as long as they only do what they said they were going to do to it, it's still going to be really amazing. But something like the Cinders or the Grom, and we're going to have to test that out, right? Some things you just have to test out to know for sure. What's up, Pyro? Pyro uses Armadillo with Kepfree. Well, if you got a lot of kills on that baby, then yeah, that's a good setup for him. No, Pathizer, right now Kepfree is not getting nerfed. I mean, I'm sure it's going to at some point, but at this moment, they're not planning on nerfing it. So don't worry about the Kepfree right now. Eventually it's going to need nerfed. It's definitely a little bit too strong if you ask me. But it's very strong actually, so eventually they're going to have to do something with it. Nathan, I think those new weapons are going to do great on just about any robot. Now again, that's one of those things where those weapons are currently on the test server, so things on the test server aren't always the same as they are on the live server. I don't ever judge anything 100% by the way it is on the test server, so the new weapons are going to be probably different this week than they are next week and different the week after that. So every test session they usually make a few changes and they adjust these things around, and then they finally decide what they're going to be like on the live server. Now my guess is any robot that you're used to playing up close, if you got a robot that you're comfortable playing at close range, I think those new Titan weapons are going to be great. Now, on something like the Miramids, I don't think I would run those new weapons. On something like the Sharinga, maybe. If you brawl with your Sharinga, yes. If you stand back and try and get damage from a distance, no. So it really depends on which Titan you're playing and if it fits your playing style. Grady White, thanks, buddy. He says on the YouTubers versus developers stream, we all did great. Definitely appreciate the kind words. That was actually a lot of fun. I think next time if we do something like that, I think maybe we should do like 3 developers and 3 YouTubers on a team. That might be kind of fun too. Best attack module for Titans. I would say the Onslaught Reactor is currently the best attack module, because you're getting a nice amount of damage to regular robots and a nice amount of damage to Titans as well. So if you really look at it, I mean, if you add the two numbers together on that module, I don't know what level yours are, but if you add the two numbers together, that's how much total damage you're getting against Titans. So it does X amount of damage against everything, and then it does X amount of extra damage to just Titans. So it's a huge damage dealing module. Yeah, Dimebag, Vengeance and Retaliators do a lot of damage though. They're very, very strong weapons. I can totally understand. I've been wondering for a long time why they haven't nerfed those, because they're supposed to be basic starter weapons and they're phenomenally good. So I hope they're still pretty good after they nerf them. I don't know if they're going to drive them into the ground or not, to tell you the truth. Alessandro, on these type of question and answer streams, I'm not actually playing the game. It's just pre-recorded stuff right there. I can't focus on reading and answering when playing, so. Oh man, we got a donation. Thank you, Hunker Down. Awesome, buddy. All right, Mr. Random says, do you feel the game is getting repetitive with the nerfs and make stupidly OP weapons and robots? At least the game is not like Diablo Immortal. Well, personally, I mean, I kind of wish what they would do is bring out new items that are good but not overpowered. That way they wouldn't really have to nerf things.
Thank you so much
now,
for the
Diablo
donation.
game, I did try to play that. I played that game for about 2 or 3 hours when it came out. I was really hoping to like that game.
For taking time and answering all our questions. You are awesome.
Thank you, Hunker, my friend. But I really tried to like the Diablo Immortal game, but it was like the most boring couple hours of my life. I hated it. I hated everything about it. But I think this is a very fun game. Now, I'll tell you what's getting on my nerves is gravity amplifiers and everybody having unstoppable shields constantly. We have enough things that slow you down and make so you can't move, and we have too many shields everywhere so we can't shoot anything. So not only do we get locked down, frozen, gravity amplified, suppressed, and who knows what else, EMP'd. On top of it, even if we have long-range weapons, we still can't hit anybody while we're gravity amplified, EMP'd, suppressed, and everything else, because everybody's got 15 shields stacked on top of each other, plus all the purple shields. So in my opinion, the shields are really getting out of hand. They need to do something with the shields. Mainly just the microchips and the mothership shields. They're a little bit too much. And they need to do something with the lockdown and gravity amplifying deal. Alright, did I try Zeus with the Behemoth on the test server? No, I haven't tried it on the test server, but I did play it on the live server, and it's actually a lot of fun. It didn't really do as much damage as I expected it to do, honestly. I thought it would be a little better damage-wise. But Zeus is actually one of those things that I've always liked. It's one of my favorite old-school weapons. It's not as good as it used to be, so it's not something I would really recommend people run these days, but it's still a pretty cool deal. Would the Cinder work with the new weapons because they are close-range weapons? Yeah, I mean, if you can put a mix of the new weapons and Cinders together, I think that would work great, actually. I'm pretty sure those new weapons are probably going to be very, very OP at close range. So let's just say you got one of those and then ran 2 Cinders or something like that. Or ran 2 of those and 1 Cinder. I mean, I think that would work great, honestly. Rockzilla. I don't know what to say to that one, buddy. All right. What's up, Stickman? How you doing? All right, so Stickman, yes, they're talking about buffing the Nodens. They're going to give them a little bit more durability. So here's the thing about the Nodens. The Nodens is not a fighting titan. The Nodens is designed to help your team out. So if you're playing Nodens, you really want to hang out in the back. You want to put some long-range weapons on it. You definitely want to have weapons with 500 meters or 600 meters. That way you can get a few shots off here and there where hanging in the back, or defend yourself when someone gets close to you. But you're really going to focus on healing your teammates when playing the Nodens. He's designed to be a support. So let's just say you're on a squad with guys and you guys are coordinated. You're on voice chat together and somebody needs some healing and your Nodens is out. I mean, you might be able to like run with another Sharinga, run with a luchador, run with the this, run with the that, and your job is to keep your teams tight and alive or something like that, you know? It's a very, very good support, but it's not designed for fighting or brawling. So if you're interested in close range fighting or close range brawling, no, Nodens is not going to be the Titan for you. But if you want a support bot, which is awesome, and a gigantic help to your team, yeah, Nodens will be great. Right now, Nodens does die very easy, so he does have a very hard time defending himself when somebody gets close. But overall though, Nodens is a very good healer. But I don't know if that's going to fit your playing style or not. Arthur, I would much rather play a Nodens over an Arthur any day. Arthur used to be one of the best Titans in the game, but once they nerfed the hit points on his body and they started coming out with more and more weapons that just kind of go right through shields, that kind of ruined the Arthur. Camerari, what's up? He says, do you like the Mender? Yeah, I think Mender is a great little support. If you have the legendary pilot that's made for the Mender that lets him heal people's gray bars, if you build that Mender correctly and use him right, he is going to be a little beast on the battlefield. So I would say yes. Zen, what's up, buddy? Nice to see you. Yeah, Hunker, you are welcome, my friend, and thank you again. I appreciate that donation. Alright, so Astronaut in the Ocean says, what's stronger at max level? Dazzler or Pantagruel or Gargantua? Okay, so that's a really hard question to answer, but I would say Lantern and Dazzler are probably the better weapons overall. Now, the one thing cool about like the Pantagruel and stuff, you can hit several people at one time and they heal you. They heal you and they do damage to several people at once. Now, most people I know don't like these weapons. I know a lot of people that have tried them, and most people say, nope, don't like them. The majority of people always want to go for the Lantern and the Dazzlers. Now, I switch back and forth between the two a lot. I can't really tell which one I like for sure. They both have their advantages and their disadvantages, but that 600 meter range and the extra killing power plus the blinding power is probably the better setup, I would say. Code Red, I know Yamato is not something they're really working on too hard. There was some kind of bug or glitch that was really messing up things on that map. I don't know exactly what it was doing, but it sounds like it's going to be a long fix to that. So I'm not really sure if we're going to get the Yamato back or not. That would be cool if we would, but I'm not really counting on it showing up anytime soon. Cool Burn, what's up, what's up? Alright, Pathizer says, no more F-chip. I know they're going to do something with it when they do the drone rebalance. Alright, Grady White, I really don't know what Pixonic's plans are exactly for getting rid of tankers and stuff, but I hope they're really going to start cracking down on that. I think they were mentioning that they were, but I don't know exactly how they plan on handling it or exactly what their plans are, but those people ruin the gaming experience for people in the lower leagues. I mean, I've seen Mark III players go down to like Silver League or lower. I mean, that is horrible. Those are the people that do that. I can understand maybe dropping down like one league. Let's just say you're up there in like Masters or Expert or something, and you play a bunch of free-for-alls, and all of a sudden you get yourself into Champion, and you find, oh my god, I'm just getting obliterated in Champion. My robots aren't high enough level. I could understand somebody like dropping down maybe one league or something like that just to like get back to a level where the robots are competitive. But the guys that are dropping down just so they can beat up on the lower league players, that is messed up. You guys are terrible people, in my opinion. You are ruining the game for other players. You are causing people to quit the games. Tankers are bad, and I hope Pixonic bans every last person's account that's doing that. I really do. I hope they can catch all of the tankers and get rid of them. Because we don't want people quitting. We want players to play the game, and we want them to stay and move up into the leagues. Because, you know, games have high turnover rates, right? Not everybody plays a game for 5 years. Not everybody plays a game for 3 years. Some people play the game for 6 months. Some people play it for a year. But we don't want people to come in and leave after 2 weeks or after a month because, you know, we want those people to stay for a year or 2 or 3 before they finally just decide to move on. Because we need new players coming into the game and moving up into the leagues because, you know, more old players do quit eventually. Nobody's going to play any game forever. I mean, some people might, but the majority of people don't. So if you're going down there and you're beating up the lower leaguers and making them quit, if you do that to enough players and make enough people quit, eventually we're going to have no players in the higher leagues because a lot of the older players, you know, are going to leave the game or whatever. I mean, there's definitely a bunch of hardcore players that do stay and play for years and years and years, but not everybody does. So we do rely on new players coming in and enjoying the game. So don't screw up the new players, guys. A lot of people don't even realize what they're doing by tanking down, honestly. Yeah, Rockzilla says you can make a lot of silver with the Nodens heal, and that's very true. You can earn a load of silver by healing people with Nodens. If you're very good with keeping the Nodens alive and focusing on healing, yeah. I mean, you might get 4, 5, 6 million damage sometimes just with the Nodens. Because at the end of the battle, whatever your damage shows includes healing. So any healing you do is transferred into damage at the end of the battle. Rand King says, is Nodens better than Arthur? Well, they're very different. In my opinion, yes. But that's only if you enjoy playing the Nodens. Now, Nodens is, I mean, Arthur is great for blocking certain things. Like, Arthur can block the blindy weapons. You know, he can block the Hawk's beams. There's a lot of pluses of Arthur, but there's a lot of downfalls on Arthur too. So, when things are very, very different, it's kind of hard to compare them. I mean, that's kind of like comparing an apple to an orange. One person's going to say, no, I love the orange. One person's going to say, no, I love the apple, because they're not the same and everybody has different likes and different tastes and different playing styles. But in my opinion, yes, the Nodens is probably the better robot. Unless you want to do like long-range fighting with it, then Arthur might be better in some ways. So that one really does come down to personal preference. Spice, what's up? Dillip, what's going on, man? I'll tell you what, Al Ming is really good with either the lanterns or the new Pantagruel type weapons. Like, either set of those weapons really do well with the Ming. I mean, those kind of both brought the Ming back. So personally, I think Ming dies way too easy again, but if you're very, very good with it, you can have some good games with those new weapons on there. Pathizer says, after spending a bunch of money, you feel obligated to keep playing. Yeah, a lot of people do, actually. I know a lot of guys that say, I can't quit the game because I've spent too much money on it. So, in some ways, I guess that's good when people spend a bunch of money. It keeps some people from quitting the game. Spice, how you doing today, buddy? Alright, so Dimebag says, I played for a year and now I'm back to enjoying the new bots and weapons. Kind of hard to figure out what for him for wait a second. He's having a hard time figuring out what to use, but having fun again. Well, that's good, man. There's a lot of really good robots and weapons, so I would just say whatever you've got, pick your tankiest robots for the most part. Right now, tanks are kind of the king in the game. Tanks and like damage dealers. So bottom line is, I think I would try to find one beacon runner, maybe one damage dealer, and then like 3 tanks. Like if you can get a Kepri, a Invader, and a Fenrir in your hangar, plus maybe something like a Harpy, or maybe like a, I don't know, maybe one of the ball robots for beacon grabbing. I mean, Kepri can even be a good beacon grabber. But yeah, tanks are really where it's at. Weapons hit so hard and robots have such high durability right now. Tanks are kind of a must. Tanks are kind of a must. Code Red says death to apples. Oh my gosh. I guess all you gotta do is pick one off the tree and it's gonna die. So I guess that wouldn't be too hard to do. Alright, so Spice says, if you're a tanker, you're probably the kind of person that beats up old ladies. Really, it's not that much different than that. I mean, it is, but it's not. It's a little different than that, but not quite, so. What's up, Just Cars? How you doing? Typhon with Mace. Buddy, I think anybody who's ever played Typhon with Mace is going to say it's freaking amazing. If you're comfortable playing Typhon up close, that is a very hard-hitting, brutal setup. I know a lot of guys are putting the beak on that. If you put a beak on that thing and you run up to somebody and you have the damage chips, man, it will blow somebody up so fast it's not even funny. So yeah, Typhon with Mace is a beast. Alright, Nathan says, for a good video, fun playstyle. Sometimes I'm dyslexic, so I read words backwards. But he says, Zeus on the test server is too good because it changes the Orion, charges the Orion so fast. So normally when I get on the test server though, I don't really do a lot of playing on old bots. I usually just get on there to test the new stuff that's on there that needs to be tested. I don't hardly ever run old weapons or old bots just because, in my opinion, that's really not what the test server is for. Now, there's nothing wrong with setting up 1 or 2 robots just to try something out, but for the most part, I think if you're on the test server though, we should be testing out the new stuff and giving them our feedback. After you finish the test server, there's a form you can fill out to let them know what you thought about the new stuff. So I know a lot of guys get on there and they don't even try out the new stuff. They just make some dumb hangar of like 5 Cossacks and run around, or they get in the ball robots and make it hard for other people to test the stuff. So I don't know, it's kind of crazy what some people do on the test server. Now, if you're interested in making a build, I'm still not sure the test server is really the best way to test it out, because a lot of the stuff on the test server is not the same as what it's like on the live server. So sometimes I've played something on the test server and it's been so unbelievably horrible, it's not even funny. they don't always get everything just right on the test server, except for the things, they really focus. Every week they make a new test server. So they kind of throw it together, and the things they focus on making sure are correct are the new items. So some of the old items, the stats might be a little wrong. They might not be kind of true to life. So I don't really trust testing out like older bots and weapons on the test server as much, if you get my point. Now, I haven't tried it in a while, but at least it used to be that way, and I would assume it still is. Dimebag loves the tanks and brawlers. Me too, man. They're the most fun out of everything. And the Harpy. Dimebag also digs the Harpy. And I'll tell you what, Harpy and Siren are a lot of fun for damage dealers. Grady White says, my favorite bot is the Fafnir. I got 14 kills and 6 million damage. Man! Nice, buddy. I've actually seen you quite a bit over the last week out there on the battlefield. Pathizer says, are the Magnetars still a good end gun for the Kepri? Okay, so if you're playing a long range Kepri, yes. Alright, they're good for playing support. Now, if you're trying to brawl with your Kepri or grab beacons with it, I would say no, put something else on there. Magnetar's got a 600 meter range, they lock people down. They do nice amounts of damage from a distance, but up close, they're going to do way less damage than a lot of other weapons. So those are really made to be used at long to medium range. They're not designed to be put on your robot that's going to get up in somebody's face and brawl, because they don't do as much damage as a brawling weapon. They're really made to be like a support weapon. But honestly, if you don't have anything else, yeah, they're going to work pretty darn good. They may not be the best, but they are going to work. Now, if you're playing support from 500 meters, 600 meters, what you can do with your Kepri is you have to be so close in order to link on a teammate, but you can quickly get up to that teammate, link on them, and then fall back and stay 400 meters back. Because at 400 meters, though, I think that's when the tether breaks between the Kepri and your teammate. So you can't get too terribly far away, but you can still stay back a little bit and play that Kepri as support. And the Magnetars would be nice at that point. Will I do a 20K special stream? I kind of look at it this way. I mean, I really appreciate people subbing to the channel and watching the videos, but I try not to make the streams and stuff too much about me, you know what I mean? I might do something like that, I'm not really sure, but I don't know. I mean, I make videos to keep you guys entertained, keep you up to date. I don't want to be like, hey, look at me, I just got a bunch of subscribers type of deal. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little weird, but I might make a video every once in a while and say thank you, thank you for the 20,000 subscribers. You guys are amazing, but I don't normally really bring too much attention to that, because I make the channel to have a good time and help you guys out and stuff like that. Coco says, do you think Al June is good? Yes. It's not great, but it's good. If you're really good with it and you've got some skill, you can do a lot of good stuff with the Al June. Now, it dies very easy. You got to play it very carefully, so you definitely got to have a good amount of skill with that bot to do well with it. But yeah, I like it. I don't love it. It's not something that I would play all the time, but if you can put like a set of punchers up there, or maybe even some vipers or something, if you get the right weapons on the Al June, he can still be very usable in Champion League. Just not ideal, I guess. Lego, what's up, buddy? He says, what would be a good weapon for a Mark II Wayland? Alright, so far on the Wayland, I really like the Smuta weapons. They do very, very good on the Wayland. If you need something to defend yourself at close range, any type of shotgun is going to do very well. it kind of depends on how you're trying to play them. Now, if you're trying to just stay in the back and be a healer, I think the smooches are probably your best bet. But if you're brawling, I think something like the new what's it called? Mace? Is it Mace? Is Mace the medium or the heavy? Anyways, those new shotguns with the bomb effect are brutal up close. I mean, even Thunders. I mean, you can set a Thunders on there and do great. So it depends on your playing style with it. So I would say either a set of weapons that hit extremely hard up close or a set of weapons that hit extremely hard from far away. So the brand new weapons that just came out are amazing. The smooches are amazing. Or if you need to do some sort of up close thing, pretty much any shotgun in the game is going to do you pretty well. Flamethrowers can be pretty good on there if you're comfortable using them. Not everybody is comfortable aiming the flamethrowers. What else is good on there? Redeemers. Redeemers are freaking awesome, guys. 2 Redeemers hit like baseball bats. It's amazing how good those old weapons are. A lot of people underestimate the Redeemers, but they will pound your face in. They really will. Unfortunately, they're still quite expensive to upgrade, so they're still a tier 4 weapon. So Lego, I'd probably look into something along those lines, depending on how you're playing the robot. Robbie Utah, what's up, buddy? How are you? And you're welcome. You are welcome. Alright, Coco's using flamethrowers. Is that on your Al June? I mean, they do very good. The Al June's basically got 3 heavy flamethrowers built in, and then you can add another 2 on top of it, and that's crazy. Hammer, yes, Code Red, buddy, thank you. The hammers, that's what I was thinking of. Hammers are great on there. Wolf Blood, what's up, what's up? How are you doing? Welcome to the stream, and if I happen to miss anybody's comment, alright, please don't spam it in the chat, but if I miss your question, feel free to ask it again in a few minutes. So I know, like, when I get to talking, sometimes I miss a few things, and I'm not the greatest reader due to my dyslexia. Nice, Dimebag. Ready to put the Kepri into action. The Sonics are excellent weapons if you can get good at using them. Like, I find I miss a lot of shots with the Sonics, so I don't like running the Sonics. But I'm going to tell you what, if you set up your Cappy right and you can land the shots with those Sonics, they're one of the most brutal weapons you can use. Alright, so Mr. Roboto says, what does it mean when the Seraph's wings change colors? You know, not too many people have asked that, and I've never got a 100% definite answer on it. But what we believe is going on there is after the Seraph takes so much damage, okay, it starts off with 90 or 95% defense points when it goes up in the air. I can't remember if it's 90 or 95, but after it gets shot so much, it loses defense points. Now, I think after you get shot so many times, the shield turns purple to let you know you've lost a bunch of your defense points and you're going to start taking a little more damage. Now, my understanding is even at the lowest point, you're still around 80 defense points, which is a lot. But I'm pretty sure that's what that means when the shield starts to turn purple. Mars, what's up, buddy? How are you doing? He says, Fenrir Smoot a Razdor versus Fenrir Incinerator Scorcher. Okay, so I think with the Fenrir, I would much rather stand in the back with the Smooches and the Razdors. I mean, those rocket weapons are nice, but for the amount of damage they do, I think the reload is way too long. I don't think they do enough damage to have that long of a reload, so they're not really my thing. I don't like those on most robots. Fenrir is not really ideal to be played with a longer range weapon like that, but I'll tell you what, if you can hang out in the back with a Fenrir with those Smooches and Razdors, you'll do a lot of damage, and people from a distance are going to have a really hard time taking that Fenrir out. So honestly, I mean, Fenrir is designed to be a brawler, but using him as a long-range type of, or a mid-range, I should say, more of a mid-range to longer-range type of fighter is actually an excellent idea, but I would definitely go with the Smuto Razdor myself. Alright, Peter says, I still want 3 module slots for the Alquin. Yeah, you know, I'm surprised they don't give that guy 3 module slots. I wish they would give all the robots 3. I could see like the Cossack not having it or the Rogatka not having it, but I think pretty much all robots that are still decent should have the 3 slots. Wolfblood, I'm good, buddy. How about yourself? Well, you just said you're good. I don't know why I asked again. But I'm doing good, thank you. Ah, nice. Mr. Roboto just got a Seraph. I'll tell you what, right now it's a very strong robot. It's a lot harder to kill than you would think. It's got great firepower. It's kind of hard to kill. I mean, you can probably view my profile, Mr. Roboto. I'm pretty sure since we're in the same clan, you can easily look at my profile and see my pilot skills. So I would set it up that way if I had the chance. Those pilot skills I have on mine seem to do really well. I mean, if you've got any legendary pilot, that'll work just fine. I got the Trixie Hope on mine. I've also got to try its own legendary pilot that gives you healing when you land. So far, I do like the Trixie Hope better, but I mean, even if you throw an Adrian on there, that would be a great setup. I know eventually they're probably going to come out with another pilot for it that's got Shield Breaker or something crazy like that. Midnight, what's up, my friend? He says, why don't the feathers fall off? I'll tell you what, I don't know if you've noticed, but when your Seraph gets destroyed, like all these little pieces break off and like scatter all over the place. So they kind of do in a way when you blow up. But you don't really get to see the animation long enough to really enjoy what's happening there. How you doing, Midnight? Alright, Coolburn says, Danny, my Typhon has a Scorcher, Scotty, Smuta, and Mace. Oh, man. So you've got all 4 weapons on there? Alright, so the Scotty is probably the biggest piece of junk in the world right now. I would get rid of the Scotty as soon as possible and replace it with something else. But honestly, I would want probably at least, 2 sets of matching weapons, like maybe 2 Smutas and maybe 2 of the shotguns. I mean, really all 4 matching is probably going to be better depending on what you're running, but 4 separate weapons with all different reload times and different mechanics is going to get a little bit weird. I mean, sometimes you have to use what you got, right? Sometimes you have to use what you got, but if you can get 2 maces and 2 maces and 2 something else, that would be good. But you definitely want to get rid of that Scotty as quickly as possible. Like when they nerfed those weapons, the Hell Scotty and stuff, they really nerfed that thing into the ground. I mean, it used to be such a good weapon. I don't really understand why they nerfed it so much, but I guess they've got their reasons for that. Mr. Rabata says, it's the perfect time to introduce Lightning as the legendary pilot for Seraph. You know what? That would actually fit really good because he gets all those lightning bolts that shoot all over. Alright guys, I gotta use the restroom. The coffee is kicking me in the bladder, so I'm gonna stop to take a pee break. Alright, I gotta pee, guys. I need a pee break, so I'm going to put the Be Right Back screen up, and I will return in just a minute, guys. Hold tight, and I will be back in just a minute. Okay, I'm back. I am back. I am back. Back. I also chugged a bunch of Gatorade. I'm thirsty. Okay. Let me get the pre-recorded gameplay back on the stream. There we go. I think it starts over from the beginning, but it doesn't matter. It's just something to look at. Will I read comments and talk to y'all? See, that half of a mountain is called a half dome. I'm not sure what you're talking about, my friend. Hendrik says, when is the puncher coming to the workshop? I actually don't know. I have no way of knowing when they're going to start releasing things like that, but you can get the puncher out of the crates right now. So if you got keys and you open your crates, I think one of those crates is currently full of punchers, so you have a chance to win one out of there. So my advice is look through the key crates, and when you get enough keys, open the crate with the puncher in it, and maybe, just maybe, you'll get a couple. So that's my advice for now until they put it in there. Howler, what's up? How are you doing? Nice to see ya. Just cars. Yeah, man, no problem. I wish I could do streams a little more like this on my CSR2 Racing channel too, but the problem is on CSR2 Racing there's like 800 and some cars, and people will start asking questions like, if I put this car on stage 4 parts, what's the 0 to 60 time on this car? Well, I have no way of knowing that without going into the game, finding the car, setting it up that way, and changing it. You know what I mean? People ask really, really crazy technical questions about those cars on there, which makes a lot of those questions pretty much impossible to answer because there's about 10 million different variables on different parts you could have installed and different tunes and crazy stuff going on. But me and Max the Gamer used to do Q&As all the time on there, but most people would ask questions that one of us could answer, but if I didn't know the answer, Max usually knew it, or if he didn't know it, I usually knew it. So it was a lot easier when there was two of us together, but when I'm by myself, there's a lot of questions that come up where I'm just like, man, I don't know or can't answer that, because imagine trying to like keep track of what 800 different cars do as far as 0 to 60, 0 to 100, how fast they cross the finish line. Then you got stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parts, or no, 7, but I wish I could do like Q&As easier on that channel too, but people ask too many crazy questions. On this game, it's just like general knowledge, so it's a little easier to answer questions on this game. Duck Sauce says boxers or briefs. Well, no tidy whities for me. No tidy whities, sir. Anything but tidy whities will be just fine. Alright, Midnight says Seraph is a large target you can't miss. It is pretty easy to hit that guy, but when he's in the air, he takes very little damage. Zen, how you doing today? Samsung, I'm not actually playing live. He says, can I run the boa or golem? Now, I do have a golem, but it's at level 1. And my boa, I think, is maxed out. Boa and golem and shoots, though, those robots are really hard to play in Champion League these days. Honestly, they're really cool to have in your hangar just for collectors things, but they are going to get their butts kicked big time if you try and take that into the Champion League. Now, I did actually do a video a while back using all 3 of those robots, but at the time, we didn't have such powerful things. We didn't have Kepris in the game, and we didn't have like shotgun weapons that blow you up instantly like we have now, so those would be crazy hard to play right now. Duck says, have you been playing Real Racing 3? No, never really got into Real Racing. George DS, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Walker, how's it going? He says, is Orochi still usable? Yeah, I think Orochi is a really good beacon robot, right? If your goal is to get beacons, Orochi's great. Some people, if you know how to time the ability just right, you can do phenomenally good with the Orochi. I think it's a very hard robot to play, but if you acquire the proper skills with that robot, you can still do great with it. So yes, if you're good with it. We got Alien in the house. What's up, Alien? Ah, cool, Midnight. He's been backpacking up in Yosemite Park. That would be a lot of fun, actually. Ah, man, Howler, if I can say that right, it's got 9,500 components for Puncher for 4 months. Ugh. Man, I hope you can get some more somehow. I've had a lot of components that I don't think I'll ever finish. I just usually end up selling them unless it's something I really want. Alright, so Cool Burn says, what device do I play War Robots on? So, as far as my phone goes, I bought one of those Red Magic 6 phones. I think it's about, right now, I think you can get them for around $400 and some because the Red Magic 7 came out. If I remember correctly, I seen them on sale for like $350, $400. And I'll tell you what, it's got like a 144 hertz refresh rate screen. It's got a cooling fan built into the computer. To the phone. It's designed for gaming. It's not really... It's kind of a glitchy phone when it comes to like everyday use, but it's not great for a daily driver. It is, but it's not. Some people get really frustrated with a few things on that phone, but if the only thing you're doing with that phone is playing games on it, It is phenomenal for gaming. Like, it's just flawless. It plays every game perfect. I mean, I have zero lag on War Robots when I play on that phone. I mean, it runs this game so good, it's unreal. I think it's got 16 gigabytes of RAM. It's got something like 120 gigs of storage. Now, if you buy the Pro version, it comes with something like 18 or 32 gigs of RAM, which is ridiculous, and a 200 and some gigabyte hard drive. So really the only difference between the regular one and the Pro, which really surprised me, is they're the exact same phone, except for the Pro version has more RAM and more hard drive storage. Everything else is exactly the same. Now, my old phone was a OnePlus 7, and that played the game amazingly well. I don't know if you can buy those anymore. If you can, you might be able to find you might be really lucky to find one somewhere for like $300-400. But yeah, I've dropped mine, and when I went to grab it, it was falling, and I went to grab it, and what happened is, instead of getting a hold of it, my fingers just smacked it, and that sent it full force at the ground, and it cracked the screen and destroyed the phone, which sucks because that was an amazing phone. The new OnePlus phones kind of suck, but the OnePlus 3, OnePlus 5, and OnePlus 7 were all amazing. But if you can find an old OnePlus 7, it's still probably going to do pretty well. It's a little bit outdated now. That's probably like a 3 or 4 year old phone. But I would look into the Red Magics. If all you care about is gaming, look into the Red Magic phones. You kind of got to order it from China, and it takes a few weeks to show up. But for the price, I mean, they're phenomenal. They are phenomenal. They come with the top of the line Snapdragon processor in there and everything else. Just an all around gaming beast. Nice, Howler. Got your second Glory. That's awesome. I haven't used Glory in so long, I can't really tell you exactly how good it is at the moment, but I think they buffed those a while back, and I can't remember if I liked it or not after the buff. I'm going to have to play with the Glories again. Those are some cool old weapons. I hope they're still pretty good. I mean, I'd imagine at close range, they're still going to tear some people up. Now, at one time, I will say that the Thunder used to be much better than the Glory, but now I think the Glory is probably going to be a lot better than the Thunder. Oh, yeah. Oh, Midnight, you won one of the golems? That's awesome. Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that golem giveaway back in the day. Vanit, I usually run for about 2 hours. I usually run for about 2 hours on the live stream, so I don't think it's been 2 hours yet, has it? No, we've only been streaming for about an hour, so hour and 15 minutes. We probably got about 45 minutes left on the stream. I don't know how some people stream for like 4, 5, 6, 8, 12 hours. Like Pranjit, I don't know if you guys know Pranjit on YouTube, but I guess he does like 24 and 48 hour streams all the time. How in the heck can someone stand to sit there for like 48 hours and do a live stream with no sleep or anything? No, thank you. Coco just got the Luchador. Awesome. Congratulations. Luchador is amazing. They are doing a slight nerf on him, but I think it's still going to be crazy good afterwards. Alien says, Danny, with the new buff, the Nodens could possibly be back to the meta. Well, I'm not really sure how much that 7% is going to affect him. I'm actually hoping maybe they decide to do it a little more. Basically, the 7% is just what they're testing out on the test server. So, 3 things could happen. Either the game data could say, nope, we don't want to do that. It's fine the way it is. The game data could tell them that, hey, no, we need to buff it more. Or the game data could say, nope, we just need to nerf it. So hopefully, obviously they know they don't need to nerf it. They're trying to buff it. So one of 2 things is going to happen. Either they're going to leave it the same, or they're going to buff it a little bit, or buff it a lot, I guess. I'm actually hoping they do more like a 10 or a 15% buff on it, but you never know. See, Walker, I think he asked some kind of question. Let me see if I can find that. He said something like 4 robots, but I don't see any other questions from you. So if you're asking something, I need more information, my friend. Oh, favorite robot. He's asking what's my favorite robot. Gotcha, Walker. I'm dyslexic, okay? So I read things wrong all the time. Favorite robot, man. What? Okay, if it really comes down to it, let's just say I had to keep something, and I could only have one robot to play. I'm gonna keep my Fenrirs. I'm gonna tell you why Fenrir is amazing, because it's an old robot. All right. It's been very good for a very long time. If you put the right pilot on it, it's freaking awesome. I don't really see them doing too many rebalances. I don't think the Fenrir is going to get a big nerf anytime soon or anything like that. So it's a really good robot. It may not be one of the best robots in the game, but it's one of the best, okay? It's not the best, but it's like one step below the best of the best. And I think it's going to be that way for a really, really long time. So that's kind of one of my favorite bots right now. And I think it's definitely one everybody should get. That and the Invader. The Invader is so much fun to play. I don't think Invader is ever going to get nerfed, honestly. Okay, so Heller, at one point in time, you could actually run the Nodens as a brawler. They took away a bunch of his speed and a bunch of his health a while back. I can't remember how much health they took away. But yeah, Nodens was very good at fighting back in the day, but robots and other titans were nowhere near as strong as they are right now at that time either. So not only did it get nerfed, but the things that have come out since then, like the weapons are strong, the robots' abilities are strong. Like you just can't do that with the Nodens anymore. So generally, anytime there's like a big change on the Titans and stuff, like once the new Titan comes out, I'll probably make a new Titan guide. Once the new Titan's out, the new weapons, and we get a chance to really test it out and play it and get a feel for it, I'll redo the Titan guide because there's going to be, you know, a new Titan added. So I try and keep up to date with those anytime something new comes out as far as Titan goes, because things change, you know, things change. All right, so you got Nodens with 2 Dazzlers and 2 Cinders. So the cool thing about that, if somebody bum rushes you, you got some Cinders, which will do nice damage at close range. Plus, you got the long range weapons to blind people. So as long as 2 of those blind people quickly, that's a nice setup, actually. You're kind of covered for whatever situation you get into. So you got something for long range and close range. So yeah, I think that would be a pretty nice setup overall. RW Dad, what's up, buddy? How are you? I'm doing pretty good, man. He says, how are some players able to make their bots so strong and hard to kill? All right, so first off, you've got drones, you've got drone chips, you've got a pilot with pilot skills, and there's healing modules. What else? What else can do it? Some robots have a lot of hit points to begin with. All right, so some robots are just plain out hard to kill. Then you add the drones, the chips, the pilot skills, and all that stuff on top of it. Plus, there might be another robot healing that person. All right, let's just say I take my hardest to kill robot and I have 1 or 2 or 3 people sometimes healing it. I'll tell you what, my robot is almost impossible to kill. So it's just a mix of the right setup and being in the right situations sometimes. For example, the Kefri robots can heal other players, and Kefri is one of the most popular robots, so you're probably guaranteed to see like 2, 3, 4 Kefris out on the battlefield all at the same time from just one team. And let's just say 2 or 3 of those hook onto your robot. You're getting a lot of healing. You're getting a lot of defense points. Plus, if your robot's already hard to kill and it's got the right drone and chips and pilots and stuff, that robot's going to be very, very, very hard to take out. So it's all about a mix of those type of things. Hey, Galaxy Fox. Good to see you again, my friend. How are you doing? But yeah, George, I would say definitely run the Luchador. If you got some platinum saved up, level up the Luchador. That's going to be way better, I think. Kid's kind of a cool Titan, but he's very old and outdated. He's probably the worst out of all the Titans. The nice thing about Kid is it moves fast and its ability is pretty good, but it's not the greatest. Tantrum Gaming, what's up? How you doing? Robot Warfare says, I love the meter and I don't know why. Little Demeter is actually pretty cool. I like the meter a lot myself. I'm not very good with it. I used to be pretty good with it, but I'm okay with it, I guess. If I played it more, I think I would like it even more, because I noticed one thing is, like, some bots take a little skill to play, and the meter, it's kind of got some advantages and some disadvantages. So if you teleport into a teammate, a lot of times people are already inside of your shield. You're going to be teleporting right next to an enemy who can just turn over and start shooting you if he's already inside of your shield, and you're going to blow up quick if he's got the wrong weapon. So if you can teleport to somebody and stay back a little bit and your shield pops up, then yeah, they're going to have a hard time taking you down with that shield. So it's a little situational. You got to be careful where you teleport to, and when you do teleport close to somebody, you need to, take instant maneuvers not to get blown up if they're already inside your shield. So it can take a little bit of skill to play the Demeter. But it's a very fun robot and very, very good. Alright, Duck Sauce says puncher or hammer for a Rochi. Man, that's a hard question. Both puncher and hammer are both phenomenal. The main reason I think I would say hammer is probably because there's a lot of the new robots, the Kefris, running around with a specific pilot that when it uses the ability, it can do a lot of extra damage if you lock it down. So lockdown's a little scary. Actually, lockdown, suppression, and freeze are all a little scary to shoot at with a Kefri, because you may make that Kefri do crap loads of extra damage. Same thing with the Hawk. So in some ways, I'm going to go and say you're probably better off with the hammers overall, unless you're very aware of that type of thing and very careful with it. Now, I think the punchers will probably kill something a little bit faster than the hammers in most situations. They both have their advantages and disadvantages, but they're both phenomenally good weapons. So that one's really going to come down to your playing style. Of course, hammers do the best. They both do more damage at close range, but I think once you get a little further back, though, the punchers do a little better damage at, like, say, 200 meters, maybe 250. Once you get like 250, 300 meters out, they both start doing kind of crappy damage. But yeah, that's a really hard question to answer because they're both so darn good. And they're both very similar in a lot of ways. Wait, 8x speed date. Oh! Yeah, sometimes if there's like a crazy deal going on where you can get your upgrades faster, if you have the VIP, whatever the current thing is, the VIP always gives you stuff 2x faster. So let's just say there was a 4x upgrade and then you had VIP, I guess that would turn into what, a 6x upgrade or something like that? Or maybe that would be an 8, I'm not really sure. But you never know what they're going to do. Every once in a while, they come out with these amazing deals on, you know, prices for upgrades and time for upgrades. Used to be they would have faster upgrades and cheaper upgrades at the same time, but unfortunately now it seems like those are separate little events. I wish they would still do it like that, but they don't. That'd be amazing if they had like 40% off plus like 4x faster upgrades. That would be sweet. Alright, Midnight City sees something for $7. I think I must have missed whatever George's question was. Oh. Cryptic Fenrir's for sale for $100? What? I don't think I would pay $100 for it. That's a lot of money. I mean, that's an amazing robot, but $100 is a lot. I would much rather just build a Fenrir in the workshop over a month period of time than spend $100 on that, but that's just me. So Alien says they should... Alright, yeah, Alien, that would be a cool idea. Trying to make a pilot for the tier, which allows tier to repair the grade damage. If you want, I'll go ahead and mention that to them. I mean, I don't know if they'll listen or not, but I'll definitely suggest that to them. That would be cool if they listened. Where's my phone at? I would go in there and suggest it right now, but I don't know what I did with my phone. Alright, Walker says, how do I unlock the purple shields? Alright, so some robots have one built in, like the Hades, the Nemesis, the Demeter. There's a few robots that have a built-in purple shield that come with the robot's ability. Now, if you have a certain drone, alright, there's some drones, the drones hold microchips. So if you have a drone with a microchip slot, you can put a shield microchip onto your drone. And those ones are a little bit crazy. Eventually they're going to do something. They're planning on changing this because there's too many shields all over the place. But right now, if you get one of those microchips, every time you take X amount of damage, the shield comes on. And then it's got a recharge time. For example, if you have the mild damage absorber, I think it's every 150,000 damage you take, the shield pops up and it lasts for a couple seconds. Then when it goes down, 5 seconds later, if you take another 150,000 damage, bam, it pops up again. So when you're seeing everybody running shields, the purple ones and the yellow ones are microchips that are probably coming from somebody's drones, or if it's a really, really strong yellow one, it's probably coming from a mothership. Some of the motherships give you yellow shields. Now, the blue shields are almost worthless these days. Just so you know, the Ancile shields are pretty much crap. They're very old. Back in the day, they were very nice, but Ancile shields aren't good for much of anything right now. But yeah, it's probably going to be motherships, robots built-in ability, or the shield chips from the drones. Coolburn Game with the Developers was actually pretty fun. They live streamed that on the Warrobots channel. It was a good time. Basically, they talked about some stuff for a little while. They answered some questions. We played a game, and they answered some more questions. I think they did some giveaways and stuff. So basically, we'd play a game, take a little intermission while they talked about stuff. Played another game. I think there was like 5 games in total, or 6 games or something. It was a lot of fun though. It went pretty well. We all enjoyed ourselves, I think. Andrew says, I use Seraph with Shield Breaker. Yep, that would be a very good setup. Especially if you have the new weapons on it, man. Those things hit crazy hard. Yeah, George, they constantly change around what's in the black market chest. So it might be in there again eventually, but as of right now, they did remove it. George says, Kepri is fine. The free-to-play players need that to cover their backs. You know what? You're right about that, actually. For Drag, what's up, buddy? Thank you. Midnight says you can get the Mark II Fenrir for $7. That's ridiculous. Yeah, I'm not really sure what they've been doing lately with those cheap Mark II robots and the daily deals, but man, I'll tell you what, if you're newer to the game or you can't really afford to spend much, but you can afford to spend a little bit, those are some really amazing deals. I mean, let's just say you bought 5 of those Mark II robots that were like $7, $10, $15. Man, you could have a Mark II, you could have all Mark II robots in your hangar for what? Like probably less than $100. I mean, man, if they would have been doing that a long time ago, I can't imagine how many of those robots they would have sold by now. Like, I think that's a really smart move to make some extra money, because people who normally won't spend money will probably actually spend when they see that. But yeah, I wish they'd have started doing that a long time ago. I mean, who doesn't have, I mean, some people don't, but for the most part, who can't spend like maybe $7 to buy like a really awesome robot this month, and maybe like $10 next month or $15 next month? I mean, if it was only like buying one a month, you could still have, in a couple months, you would still have a really awesome hangar of Mark II stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that's a really cool idea that they're doing it. I know some people were upset because they're like, you know, I spent X amount of silver on mine to make mine Mark II. I mean, they're like, that would have cost so much more than $7 or $15 or whatever. Some people are a little upset that they're selling the Mark II things, but bottom line is things change. You never know what's going to be expensive or cheap. So, I don't know. Things in life change. Can't let that stuff upset you, but I do get where they're coming from. But actually, I think it's a very good thing. Is the Fenrir worth the $7? Heck yeah, dude. Fenrir is amazing. If you can get the Bernadette Wolf pilot for it. Personally, I wouldn't run Fenrir without that pilot, but if you can get the Bernadette Wolf for your pilot, oh man, that will turn that Mark II Fenrir for $7 into a beast. So yes, totally worth it. I mean, if that's in there, I would be tempted to buy it. I've already got 2 maxed out. I got 2 maxed out Fenrirs, but I would be tempted to buy another one for $7 if it came Mark II. Honestly, that's how much I like the Fenrir. I don't think I have a third Bernadette Wolf pilot for it though. Gerbash, how's it going? Let me see if I can find your comment. You must have asked some kind of question. So either I missed it or you haven't quite asked it yet. One or the other. If you've already asked the question, I don't see it. You can feel free to ask again. Hey, Daniel Barry, what's up, buddy? Yes, I'm not seeing your question, bud. Good setup for the Fenrir, man. We just went over that, actually. Towards the beginning of the stream, that's one of the first things we went over. I went over pilot skills and, you know, all kinds of stuff for it. I also got a couple of videos on builds for the Fenrir as well. Midnight says, what do you think of the control resistor A chip? Actually, that's what I'm starting to run on my robots now, for the fact that the Kefries, some of them do crazy amounts of damage if you lock, suppress, or freeze them. So if I'm running a drone with the A slots, I would much rather throw a control resistor on there now. That way I don't make those things beat me up or beat my teammates up if I suppress, lock, or freeze them. And if you really think about it though, if you get a gold control resistor, it's going to take them 60% longer to lock, freeze, or suppress you. So that's a pretty good deal as long as you're not running a Kefri. So if you're running the Kefri where you got the abilities that keep you from being frozen or whatever, at that point you wouldn't run the control resistor. But if being locked or frozen or whatever does not make your robot do more damage, then yes, control resistors are a very good thing right now. I've actually been thinking about making a video for that because there's still a lot of people locking, freezing, and suppressing those Kefris and making them do like 300% more damage. So Gerbakesh, man, I did not see your question, but he says, okay, it's a bug. Someone must have saw your question. I don't know. War Robots, Titan Butchers. What's up, buddy? Where's the Mad Cat? I don't know. He's probably at work. Probably working. Oblivion, how's it going? Can Invader reach 1 million hit points, not including resistance? Well, resistance doesn't actually add to your hit points. It just makes you harder to kill. You take less damage, so resistance does not count towards your hit points. I mean, technically, you could almost, let's just say you have 60% damage resistance. That would really be like adding an additional 60% hit points, but not really, if you know what I mean. But I'm not sure if it can hit 1 million or not. Honestly, I would have to go in there and build it for 100% durability skills and see what it got. But I kind of don't think it's going to break 1 million. I think it gets very close, but I don't quite think it breaks 1 million. But don't quote me on that. Fernando, the Fenrir, the best pilot is definitely the Bernadette Wolf. It gives you 60% more hit points, so that makes your tank extremely tanky. If you're going to run a Fenrir, Bernadette Wolf is the one you need. Alright, so Walker says, after unlocking the 5th slot, what do you buy with gold? Alright, drones. Drones, pilots, and pilot skills and microchips. Unfortunately, gold is used to buy so many things in the game, it's crazy. But eventually, you're going to need to have good drones and you're going to need to have good pilots. So when you buy a pilot, normally you buy the pilot with gold. And then the pilot has 7 skills. You have to level the pilot up and then add skills. You got to buy the skills with gold and then you have to level the skills up with gold. So one pilot can be pretty darn expensive on the gold. You can go and you can buy a really nice drone for about 6,000 gold, and I know that takes a little while to save it up. So yeah, drones, drone chips, and pilots. And the other thing people use their gold for is speeding up their upgrades. Like if you want to finish an upgrade faster, you can use gold to finish it. So the thing is, you can find some really amazing, if you got a couple bucks to spend, you can find some really amazing deals on gold. Like I hardly spend any money because I don't make very much, right? I don't make a whole lot of money, so I have a hard time buying expensive things. So I think if you don't spend a lot, the game gives you better deals. Now, if I could, I'd buy these all the time, but even this, I can only buy them so often. But I keep seeing these deals where you can spend 10 bucks to get like 40,000 gold. That is crazy. Like, I get awesome deals. Now, if I were to buy them all the time, I'm pretty sure the prices would go up. But if I buy that like once or twice a month, or even like every couple of months as I can afford it, it'll probably keep giving me the cheap offers. But there's so many things you need to buy with your gold, it's not even funny. So if I'm going to spend real money on this game, this is what I buy. I buy the really cheap gold deals. I buy the VIP to get more silver per battle and stuff like that. And I would just look for the like super awesome $5 and $10 deals in the shop. Like sometimes there'll be like some cheap weapons or cheap robots that are worth having. But yeah, I wish I could spend more money on the game, but I'm on a pretty tight budget for the most part. Howler says right now there's a pilot sale. Macking your pilot with gold is not that bad. So pilot upgrades must be cheaper today, so that's cool. Yeah, if you can wait till those sales, sometimes the pilots are cheaper to upgrade, sometimes the robots are cheaper to upgrade, sometimes the titans are cheaper to upgrade. If you can wait for the days that they have those till you start doing your upgrades, that's a huge help. Which bot would I run the control resistor on? Right now, any robot that I'm running a drone that has a circle slot, I'm going to put a control resistor on it. So if your drone has a circle slot, yeah, throw the control resistor on it right now. So any robot that you don't want to get locked down with. Now, if the robot's not going to get locked down or something, then of course you don't really care if you've got that on there or not. But that's great for anything. Now, if you were to run that and one anti-control, that would be a huge help on not getting locked down. I mean, one anti-control plus a control resistor chip would go a long way, I think. You might get locked down occasionally, but I don't think you would be constantly locked down or anything. So Oblivion, I don't really notice an exact pattern on the sales. I think they just decide one day, hey, we're going to do this, and then they slap it out there. This is what we're doing today. But I haven't noticed a pattern on like exact dates or anything like that. So I don't really know if there's a... I think it's just random, honestly. Yeah, buddy, Fenrir gets locked down constantly, so that's definitely a good guy to run the chip on. Yeah, I do belong to the creators program. The creators program is pretty nice. You get like some prizes and stuff out of that. But they don't give us a whole, like the creators program doesn't give you like a whole lot of resources, but if you get enough views, like if a new robot comes out, they might throw you the new robot so you can make videos with it. You know what I mean? They might throw you some stuff because they want us to make videos on the new things so people can see it in action and stuff like that. So that's part of the creators program, is we're promoting the game, we're promoting the new items. We show people what they can do. We tell people about them, and then other people see that stuff and might decide, hey, that looks cool. I want to get that. So in a way, we're kind of like helping Pixonic out. So they send us a few nice things like that every once in a while. But generally, people in the creators program don't get a big amount of resources. I'm going to guess you're probably getting at something with the resources. But also, the more views you get on YouTube, I think the better the prizes are. So there's a lot of YouTubers that get way more stuff than I do from the creators program. I get a little bit of stuff here, which is really nice, but some of those guys, like when new stuff comes out, they just load them down with all kinds of new stuff. But you got to get a lot of views. Alright, so midnight, I've got the stream playing on my TV and on my second computer screen, and I haven't seen it go in or out once. Maybe try restarting your phone. Last time I was having that problem on YouTube, all I did is I restarted my phone, then I came back to the stream and the problem stopped. So it might just be your phone needs restarted, because if you don't restart your phone often, they generally tend to have a lot of weird little issues and stuff. So George says if you want to kill faster, use the Eddie Knoll. Like, the Eddie Knoll's interesting pilot. Any shotgun type of weapons, it makes them unload the ammo quicker, but honestly, it's not that much faster. To me, I don't think I would spend all that gold on that pilot, but that's just me. But yeah, I've noticed like the 40% off sale, they do usually have it once a month, but we don't know what date it's going to come on. Sometimes they have the 10% off sales. I don't know, it seems to be a little different every month, I guess. Jeff says, do you watch other YouTubers? Yeah, kinda. Like, unfortunately, it's hard to keep up with. There's so many YouTubers out there. I mean, I can't go to like 50 different channels every day and watch 50 people's videos, or I would get nothing done other than watching YouTube, you know what I mean? But if I've got some free time and I'm scrolling through YouTube and I see somebody I know's video, I might pick it up, or somebody's live streaming and I'm like, hey, there's so-and-so live streaming right now. I'll stop in and say what's up and watch the stream for a while. So but I'm telling you what, man, running 3 YouTube channels, answering a couple hundred comments every day, answering like questions and replying to people on several different chat apps and stuff like that, plus all the other stuff you do, you'd be amazing how much time it takes up. I actually wish I had more time to spend watching other people's videos on YouTube, honestly. But I do enjoy getting to stop in and watch a little bit of YouTube here and there when I can. Alright, Oblivion says, I've never had any lag in this game. That's amazing. You're the only person I've ever known that said that. Man, you are super lucky. Ethan says, so what about events like Christmas? We got the gift bringer Fenrir, and when the Heimdall came out, we got the Sheriff the Meter. Yeah, sometimes they do give away some really nice robots for free. You know, if you're on the game at the right time, you might get a really cool free robot. Like, I mean, Demeter is a really good robot, and they gave those out for free not too long ago. That was awesome. Midnight says, I haven't purchased anything for like 6 months, and the offers haven't changed back. I don't really understand how the game has got some sort of weird algorithm for that, Midnight, and I don't really know how it works. I have no idea, but I know some people say if I don't spend anything in like 3 months, I get the cheap deals again. Some people I know say the same thing as you. I haven't bought anything in a long time, and the deals haven't got cheaper, so I don't really understand how their algorithm for that works, but the game kind of keeps track of what you do and adjusts. I guess it must adjust according to, you know, your spending habits. I guess that's what we think, at least. There's no way to prove that, but that's what we believe happens. What would I change about the game? Walker, I would get rid of the majority of the shields. Like, I would get rid of the shield microchips, and I think I would make so the new mothership can't really have you can't stack the shields on top of each other. And I would get rid of the gravity amplifiers completely. Less things that make so people can't move, and less things that make so you can't shoot at somebody. So right now there's 2 main issues with the game. One is every time you try to shoot at somebody, you can't hit nothing because they got a shield. Number 2 is you're constantly being locked down, gravity amplified, or frozen, which either prevents you from moving or makes so you can barely move. I mean, sometimes it feels like your robot spawns in, somebody locks you down, and they gravity amplify you, then they freeze you, and then they lock you down, then they amplify you, and your robot doesn't even make it 50 meters before someone finally kills it because it was never able to move since the time you spawned in. That's a little bit too much. The other thing I would do is take away some of these animations, like the shield animations and the explosions and stuff. Sometimes there's so many of those on the map just blowing up all over, you can't even tell what's happening. There can be a robot directly in front of your face, and you might not even know what you're shooting at because all you can see is pink and yellow and in smoke, and you don't know what's going on. You can't see nothing. So those are the things I would change right now. The other thing is, I don't think I would do something about the weapons that are like no skill weapons. For example, the bendy bullets, they shoot around corners. I think it's a really cool idea, but I think when you're shooting around a corner, they should do less damage and not more. Right now they're designed to where if you shoot somebody around the corner, they do the absolute most damage possible. Well, I would make that the opposite. I would make so if you shoot somebody straight on, they're doing great damage, but when you're shooting around corners, they would be kind of weak. I mean, I would do something with those weapons because it doesn't take any skill to point your robot in a general direction and press the fire button and just shoot something around the corner that you don't even have to truly aim at. So those are the main things I would change right now, I think. Why don't I discuss the operations passes like I used to? Well, we used to always make videos about operations passes when they came out, but the thing is, there's a new pass coming out so often now, it would be... generally when you make a video on YouTube, you generally want to make the video about one specific thing. You don't really want to make it about several different things at once, and every time a new operation pass comes out, it's so often I don't want to use up one video just to say, hey guys, this is what's in the operation pass. I mean, I guess I could do like a weekly video like that and just talk about what's currently in the operations each week or something. I don't know, but that's the main reason I stopped doing that, is there's just too many operations passes coming out too often. All right, so Relin, what's up, buddy? He says, I've bought nothing. Ethan says, I've never bought anything. Oh man, the best gift George got was sold for silver. That's a bummer. I try to keep a little bit of everything, you know what I mean? Even if I don't plan on using it now, you never know if they're going to buff it or you might want to use it for something later. So, like, let's just say I get a robot, even if I hate it, I'm going to keep that robot. I'm going to keep that thing hanging out in my hangar just in case I ever need it or want it for something. I know a lot of people that sell everything, and most of the time, they end up regretting it. Most of the time, they say, man, I should have never sold that. So Oblivion, let me look at mine. The only thing is, you know what, let me see what my invader has. I'm gonna go ahead and throw probably 3 heavy armor kits on my invader. And then I'm going to go into a custom game really quick. And that will tell us how many hit points he has after you add the armor kits. So let's find Mr. Invader. Mine is the spider box. Of course it's the spider bot, but the special edition one that actually looks like a spider. So it's got an additional 5% hit points. So, alright, heavy armor kits. Where you at? So also the pilot skills don't show up on the initial amount of hit points until you get into the game. And I definitely got it loaded down with pilot skills. So I think 3 heavy armor kits, that's the best way to add more hit points. So its base health is currently 488,000. That's without the armor kits or the pilot skills or any of those bells and whistles right there. So let me go into a custom game and we'll be able to see the actual little hit point bar. Create a custom game. So let's find out how many hit points he actually has. Now I don't really think you can get more hit points than this. I'd have to look at my pilot skills to make sure there wasn't something on there that I haven't added, but I think I have everything that adds more durability. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. So when I drop this guy, his health bar is currently showing 816,000 hit points. 816,603 is what I've got. Now, I'm not sure that you can do anything to give him more. Now, once you add in all the healing and stuff, it's going to be like you have more hit points. And once you add in that damage resistance, you know what I mean? Like after he uses his ability, he gets damage resistance. And if somebody's healing you or you're using your healing module, you're going to take less damage. So that's... I mean, basically, it's gonna take someone, if you have it maxed out and you're playing it correctly, yeah, you're basically gonna have over 1 million, but not really, not technically, if you know what I'm saying there. Does that make sense? All right, Jeff, have a great day. Our stream is just about over, guys, so our 2 hours is almost up. Yeah, I kind of thought he would have a little more than 800,000. I didn't think he hit 1 million, but I thought he had a little bit more than that. Still, that's pretty darn good, though. I mean, Invader is very hard to kill. I love the Invader. It's still one of my favorite older robots. I mean, you can't go wrong with that thing. Yeah, we got about we got a couple minutes left on the stream, so if you guys got any last-minute questions... If we got any last minute questions, get them in right now. All right, so George didn't know anything about the pilots and all that. Yeah, man, I got drone guides, I got pilot guides. I think I got a couple of different playlists on my channel. I probably have I probably got some kind of videos telling you about the average best pilot skills. Now, some robots have different pilot skills available than others, but generally, there's a lot of good stuff going on there with the pilots if you can afford the gold. All right, Midnight. I guess we can try to invite you at some point, I guess. Like, if you have the Discord, man, that would be easier. I don't know if you have Discord or not. I mean, I know you do have Discord, but I haven't seen you in there in a long time. So I'll probably have a hard time remembering your ID. Oh, here come the spam bots, everybody. The spam bots are spamming. At least these ones aren't. These ones are just talking about crypto or something. That's not so bad, but let me go ahead and ban those ban bots. Spam bots are going to get banned. Especially since it's spamming. Spam bots, go away. Report. Unwanted spam. Later, spam bot. Haha, we got him. Prawn, man, you're late again. That sucks, buddy. You're coming right at the end. Ah, Missy Scott, you're late as well. We're about to end this thing. But I still appreciate seeing you guys, even if it's just for a few minutes. But yeah, we're pretty much ending it here, guys. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who came out. I apologize to those of you who are just tuning in, but our 2 hours is up. I gotta get off here and get doing some stuff and get some things finished and whatnot. But you guys are all amazing. Thank you, everybody who donated today. Thank you. That's a big help. That really helps the channel get what it needs and all that good stuff. Thank you guys so much. Everybody who's a channel member, I really appreciate you guys a lot. Same thing, that extra support is amazing. And as always, everybody that watches the videos and comes to the streams to hang out, you guys are all freaking awesome. So thank you all so much. Every Thursday and Sunday I do a live stream, and sometimes you might see me pop in for a Monday or a Tuesday stream. So if you notice I don't do a video on Monday or Tuesday, because usually I put something out every day. Normally I'll take either Monday off or Tuesday off. So if Tuesday shows up and I didn't put out a video by Tuesday morning, that probably means I'll be doing one. So on Monday I'm either going to do a video or a stream. And then on Tuesday, I'm either going to do a video or stream, but one of those 2 days I'll probably take off. The other day I'll probably put something out. So you know what I'm saying. Now I'm just rambling and babbling and mumbling and jumbling and all that stuff. But all right, guys, thank you all so much. You guys are awesome. We will catch you next time. Have an awesome day. Lightning out.